What is up, guys? This is Pinzo back with another video today, and what I've got for you guys is, of course, some more Predecessor. Today is not gameplay, however. This is going to be a tips and tricks. This is going to be one tip for and against each Predecessor hero. Most of these are going to be fairly basic tips geared toward newer players, but even those of you more experienced could learn something from this as well. If you guys go on to enjoy the video, please do be sure to leave it with a like and a subscribe if you're new. But without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. Starting us off, we have carries. Starting with Sparrow, your ultimate and passive allow you to destroy tanks. Pop it when they dive on you, and hopefully they disappear before you do. On the flip side, Sparrow has no mobility, and her only crowd control are in her slows. Her only defense is damage, a single crowd control, and she's gonzo. Murdoch. You have lots of safety in your kit. Save your shotgun blast to knock enemy divers away from you and slow them down with static traps. Hold mouse 1, they don't stand a chance. As for diving Murdoch, he is the safest carry in the game, and diving him is very difficult. His only threat comes from his auto attacks, however, so look to use terrain to stay safe while letting your ranged allies take care of him. Drongo. Gag Grenade is a very strong ability, but it's on a very long cooldown. Make sure you place it well, either peeling for yourself or interrupting enemy front lines. Fighting against Drongo, don't let him take 1v1s. He excels at winning them, and very few characters are going to put up a fight against him. Look to dive him as a unit. His ultimate's a threat, but it doesn't work well if he's surrounded. Next up, we have the mid laners, starting with Faye. Faye tends to take a more supportive role out of the mid lane. Her abilities are incredibly useful for zoning and slowing down the enemy team, and you don't need to hit a 5-man ult every time. Hitting an enemy squishy should be certain death if your team is around to follow up. Look to pick off 1 or 2 and win fights cleanly. Against Faye, just know that her burst damage is limited, making her an ideal dive target. Look to jump on her the second her ultimate is down, giving her no chance of escape. Bellica. Bellica has insane burst potential, along with bringing very potent crowd control in her seismic assault. Look to throw out bombs while saving your stun for self-peel. Bellica also has no mobility. She self-peels with damage very effectively. Look to bait out her stun before you go in, or dive her as multiple, as she can't kill 2 people at once. Howitzer. Howitzer's range is very good. Look to poke people and be a nuisance throughout the laning phase. Don't be afraid to use your mine offensively, pulling people out of their towers for free kills. Howitzer is very safe between his boop, slowing mines, and his ultimate. If you can, look to crowd control him out of his ultimate, as it reduces his damage immensely. You will have a hard time diving him, so let your ranged heroes take care of him. Gadget. Your range is unmatched, allowing you to play very safe in fights. Spam your abilities as much as possible from max range, and you should be very safe. Ult your feet if someone gets to you and speed boost out of there. Like Faye, Gadget also lacks burst. Her only escape is movement speed. Look to save your movement abilities until she speed boosts, allowing yourself to stick to her while she tries to get away. Gideon. Gideon's new passive adds a lot of damage to his kit, along with another slow. Combine your passive with your ultimate for free kills on the enemy mid laner. Gideon's ultimate does insane damage, and he will usually want to portal up high before using it. Save your crowd control for when he goes in, stopping his ultimate and giving a free kill on the flip side. Next up, we have supports. Narbash. Narbash excels in long engagements. Your heals and movement speed make you a formidable frontliner. Know beforehand that your ult will most likely be cancelled before it finishes, and throw it out after your other abilities are on cooldown. Sometimes eating a crowd control can win a fight as much as finishing your ultimate. If Narbash ultimate finishes channeling, you've probably lost the fight. Look to cancel it out early. Anti-heal will help deal with his healing as well. Richter. Richter pull is always a threat. Your primary target should be enemy squishies, but don't be afraid to pull a tank if your team is ready to follow up. Richter lacks mobility, and most of his crowd control is single target. Jump on him if he's out of position. He struggles to take on entire teams. Muriel. Your ultimate is an early game monster. Look to turn fights in mid and solo lane by adding another team member to the mix. Muriel amps up her team with shielding. She herself tends to be fairly squishy. Making her focus on shielding multiple targets will limit her capabilities drastically. Spread out the fight, divide, and conquer. Steel. Steel's Wall is your key ability. Use it to cut off entire lanes or sections of the jungle. Don't be afraid to ult one or two people, as you don't always need to hit five to win a fight. Steel aggresses very well. Look to put him on the back foot, force out his wall early. As long as it's on cooldown, most of his safety is gone. Moving into junglers. Galari. You deal crazy amounts of damage while being quite slippery. Look to Deathmark, Dagger, Dagger. This will kill most squishies if you build full power. Look to pick off enemy backlines using your stealth to get through their wards. Kalari can be hard to deal with. Her mobility is limited, meaning once you find her, jump on her. She can't deal with multiple enemies at once. Chimera. Your healing allows you to outtrade most other characters for the majority of the game. Try to save your leap for when squishies use their mobility. Your ultimate is useful for canceling anything channeled as well. Anti-heal will demolish Kai. Outside of that, Chain CC will not allow him to build up his stacks. Don't let engagements get drawn out or you're sure to lose them. Rampage. You have lots of lockdown and chase potential between your jump, slow on your E, and stun on your Q. You should be able to relentlessly chase their squishies and take them out of fights. Rampage is tough to lock down. Look to focus him as a team, bursting him down before he can chase your backline out or make use of his regen and his ultimate. Grux. Grux may appear to have lots of crowd control in his kit, but it's in small areas. Look to focus down one person. Ult early to gain the advantage throughout the fight, and use your Q and E to lock down a single squishy. Grux has next to no survivability. Have your backline play close to each other. Grux can't fight two people at once. If he goes on your mid laner, have your carry focus him down, and vice versa. Finally, we have the offlane, Fang Mao. Hamstring is on a very short cooldown. Keep enemies slowed as much as you can. Remember that hitting your E reduces the cooldown of your dash, allowing you to chase very effectively. Your shield gives you movement speed. Track down those squishies. Fang Mao ultimate brings little threat if he's building defense. If Fang Mao's in the jungle, his burst damage is scary, but generally single target. Dissuade him by having teammates play close. Sevarog. You excel mid-game when your stacks are coming online. Look to rotate early and be a menace to the enemy mid laner. Late game, be careful of carries as they still shred you. Your main target is the mid laner. They tend to pose little threat against your giant health bar. Sevarog has lots of control and health. Save your CC to peel him off of you. You will need to rely on your carry to do most of the damage to him. So if you're scared, make sure you're close to your carry. And that's all the heroes. So, as always, if you enjoyed, go ahead and hit the like button. If you guys want to see some more content, hit subscribe as well. And let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below. I'm really curious if you guys enjoyed this kind of video, if this is something that I should continue doing in the future. But as always, guys, that's all I've got for you. So, I've been Pinzo. This video's done so. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.